South Carolina. Movement to the outside, back for Pau. Hall crisscrossing the lane, left it off target. Hits the putback and one.
That's what Chloe Kitts will do best for this team. She averages just over 8 rebounds per game. Here, she just sees the ball so well coming off the basket. She works hard for this rebound. What a great finish by her with some contact.
You can see the strength there. That's something Dawn Staley pointed to when we asked her about Chloe Kitts, how much physical strength she's had in the offseason and the habit she's maintained to keep it on.
And she puts a lot of work in right now to maintain that strength and keep the weight she's gained. She's much stronger than she was last season.
Yeah, lifts every game day, works with these team nutritionists to build those habits, and takes advantage of a three-point play opportunity. Carolina's up 3 early, first possession for Purdue. And Rashunda Jones turns it over immediately.
Here's a chance for Purdue to bounce back right now in this next possession. You play a team like South Carolina, you got to go into it with no fear. Of course, their first possession, they turn it over, but how do they respond in this defensive set?
How much of it for a team like Purdue is making sure you get through that first quarter as a foul be assigned? This is the first foul of the day.
Yeah, it's so important to get through that first quarter, but also just to come out and be like, we're Purdue, we play in the Big Ten, we know what this is about. No fear, handle the rock.
First foul for Lana McCarthy, the Big Ten freshman of the week. Puts that up, and South Carolina's rolling along 2. They're up 5.
Good set out of the baseline of the bounce. Get Tahina Pau the ball. Phenomenal shooter, inside-outside game.
Rashunda Jones, one of the talented returners for Purdue. Swanson dumps it down deep for McCarthy. Nicely put off the glass.
Purdue also has that inside paint present with McCarthy. They do a little high-low action to get her the ball, and it's tough to score against a player with the size like Fagan.
Johnson kicks out, left wing 3. That skims off for Bree Hall. Quickly up the floor. That long 3 from the right sideline doesn't fall for Sophie Swanson. Hoists up the first and fouled on the second chance opportunity.
How fast Sophie Swanson had to get back in transition after she had that 3-point shot. Here she just gets a great pass into McCarthy, a freshman. Scores strong down there, and if they can have those opportunities in the paint today, there's going to be some positive moments for Purdue.
13 foul for Purdue already. Jones, Bass, and McCarthy all collecting fouls. It will just be Gamecock basketball here. And Dawn Staley's arguing that this should be a shooting foul. Instead, it'll just be a possession for the Gamecocks. Launches a 3. That's in and out. Fight for the rebounds. Purdue wanted a foul. They won't get it. Off the screen, Jones to the cup, turned away by Chloe Kitts. Offensive board for Purdue, and they take advantage with Reagan Bass.
Exactly what Jones needs to do. She goes up, she gets blocked. You cannot worry about the block shot. Get the rebound, passes it to one of their best players in Bass.
Tahina Pau, no real estate on the baseline. Step back 3 for Pau. Attacks the heel, Kitts fights for the board. Back to Pau, another 3 for the Gamecocks. Just a bit offline as well for Johnson. And another offensive board for South Carolina.
Rebounding, such a big thing for South Carolina. Purdue wants the over and back call, but they're just not pushing them back and making contact enough for that call to happen.
Dumps it down for Fagan. And the short J is just off the left side of the cup. And Purdue throws it away. Second time they've just thrown it away trying to move in transition. This is a very battle-tested Purdue team. You look at what they have on their schedule. They are the only team to face 4 opponents ranked in the preseason top 6, including the South Carolina group.
Yeah, they're trying to really compete against the best to make them the best that they can be. And I think it's tough to come out and play those teams at the start of the season, but what great experience for them leading to the end in March.
Yeah, conference play too. You remember how tough the SEC can be as well for the South Carolina group. Of course, last year they went through it 16-0, but a very quality league. Muscling to the cup. How about it for Bree Hall?
Free Hall so slippery right there. She just finds her small opening, gets a little Euro step in there.
Coach Staley had said she is focused and locked in at this time of the year. Just great movement.
Yeah, finds the middle drive and her opening to finish.
Caleb Purrier will step into the game for Purdue.
A couple and ones to start the game for South Carolina.
All can't connect there, so Purdue gets a break. Still only a 3-point deficit. Swanson turns the corner, kicks out Collier. Her three is money. Tie game at 7.
Great patience from Sophie Swanson. She comes off. She realizes that 2 come with her. Gives a nice back pass to Collier, who knocks down that 3. She did not start for them, but coming off the bench and giving them that momentum is huge.
Kitts goes into the corner. The response 3. Rolls off the rim for Johnson. So a chance for Purdue to take the lead. Been a bit of a slow start for South Carolina. They're just one of their last 8 from the floor. Swanson, step back baseline. That's just a tad too long. Rebound South Carolina. Great pass, pow, too long on the finish. The putback for Kitts. Added to the total, another and one opportunity for the Gamecocks.
She's just reading those offensive rebounds so well. This time she doesn't even have her feet come to the ground. And she goes right up with the ball, keeps it high. Doesn't give the defense a chance to get on that, to tip it.
What have you liked from South Carolina's rebounding effort?
Yeah, they're always going to have a rebounding effort for South Carolina. They have the size, they have the capability, but rebounding is all about heart and their toughness.
Ashlyn Watkins and Tessa Johnson will step into the game. As well as Malaysia for Wiley, a sophomore from Columbia. Chloe Kitts will get a free throw here to add on to it. That's nothing but net. South Carolina back in front by 3, first of 2 in the Island Division. And a quadruple header on this final day of the Elements Health Women's Fort Myers tip-off. Swanson, boogies into the paint, goes outside. Lombard knocks it down. A confident 3 from Destiny Lombard. We're all level at 10.
Sophie Swanson is making so many things happen for Purdue. She's driving, getting 2 feet in the paint. She's not scared to attack. That was a great pass by her.
Back for Kitts. Tries to dish it down deep, bobbled by Watkins, skips into the corner. Rolls around and offer for Wiley. And that's Purdue's ball. A chance now for the Boilermakers to take the lead. How have you liked the response from Purdue? South Carolina gets them early and 1 opportunities, bit of a dominant start for the first couple of minutes, but they've pushed back and now they're all equal. It's
exactly what you need to do when you play a top team like South Carolina. You can't harp on the things that aren't going well. You got to focus on the things that you can do better.
Purdue has hit a couple of critical 3s. 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. That's disrupted. Off the screen, Collier lunges. That skips off. Rebound Purdue, and they get the foul. Talk a lot about is their ties to the state of Indiana and how they felt like in that 99 team. 9 of their 12 players were from Indiana, and much like the makeup of this Purdue team, they've gone very local in their recruiting as Kitts hits the first of her 3 points.
Katie Gerald said 7 girls on this roster from Indiana is just huge for them. They love basketball in Indiana, but back when she played and when Coach Camaro played, their Purdue team was it was the place to be in Indiana. They want to bring that back, bring the best players that they can to Purdue.
16 fouls already for Purdue, so those 2 free throws off the offensive foul from Harper out of the break. But a chance for Purdue to get right back to a tie or take the lead. Off the bounce for Lombard. Skips it just a little long and it springs off. For Wiley, back for Pau. South Carolina 2 for its last 11 field goals. Open look, and Edwards connects.
Nice pass. They're double teaming on Ashlyn Watkins. Joyce Edwards cuts to the basket, find her. That's going to be open for them a lot in this game if Purdue continues to double team.
Coming off a double-double, Edwards is against Iowa State. 13 points and 11 rebounds. Looking for Purdue, and they turn it over. South Carolina's got the basketball.
Right here, there's two double-team people come to her, and Joyce Edwards just dives to the basket, doesn't have a defender on her in that instance.
What makes South Carolina so tough to defend?
They have so many pieces to them. They keep the defense off balance. They can shoot it. They can play in the inside. It's very tough to defend them, and especially in transition.
And tough to defend when you can hit jumpers like Ashlyn Watkins. And averaging 8 points a game in her last 3. Swanson makes the 3, passes off for Purdue. And Purdue lost the basketball. A turnover for the Boilermakers. For Wiley, up the floor for Edwards. Almost got the and one, but instead will go to the line for 2.
That's how fast South Carolina will push in transition. Immediately off the steal, Joyce Edwards is running as fast as she can down the lane. Catches that basketball. That's exactly how South Carolina wants to play. Now for Purdue's defense, they have to find a way to get back early.
Capo going to rest on the bench. As Maddie McDaniel checks into the game. First of 2, rolls out for Joyce Edwards. This South Carolina team, you don't want to let them get momentum. We saw against Iowa State 32 unanswered at 1 point. A scoring drought right now of 2.5 minutes for Purdue. How do they get going offensively?
The first possession of the game, they went into the post player, Lana McCarthy, who's now on the bench, but they still got post presence. And I feel like that was so easy for them that why don't we get back to a paint touch here?
Purdue needs points. A 7-0 run for South Carolina over the last 96 seconds. Bobbled ball, almost another turnover. Maya Reynolds has got it. Into the corner for Swanson. With 5 left, Swanson's got to make a play. Step back, fades away, not even close. South Carolina with another stop defensively. For Wiley, to the rim, too easy.
Immediately down in transition for South Carolina.
9 unanswered for the Gamecocks, and Dawn Staley's group is cooking.
Hesitation and finish is going to be the best for her.
The MVP of the SEC tournament a season ago was also on the all-freshman team. Talented top to bottom this South Carolina roster. Depth and eyes in another run to the national title. Collier off the screen, free throw line, Jay is true.
They get one of their guards coming up in that pinch post area and setting that ball screen. It's tough for the post to switch on her. Ella Collier gets a nice pull-up jump shot.
Watkins driving in, bullying to the rim, doesn't go. Put back not there for Edwards, and that's a turnover for the Gamecocks.
Purdue defensively rebounding. It's so important, and at some point they got to realize that it's more important to not let them get the ball than for Purdue to get the ball.
McKenna Layden is in the game. It's a good get back for Purdue. She's been hampering a knee injury. Collier off the screen, wiggles to the rim. That's a bit short. Quick in transition. South Carolina will slow up McDaniel. For Wiley. Too long off the glass. Offensive boards the story. Second chance doesn't go. Watkins gobbles it up. Kicks it out in front. Good ball movement. Johnson. Short as well. Bobbled around, and that one belongs to Purdue.
South Carolina never gives up on the rebound. It's the first chance, the second chance, the third effort that Purdue needs to give in to not let them get those boards.
And a bit of an up and down first quarter for South Carolina. What has Purdue done right in this first quarter?
I mean, they're sharing the basketball. I think every single time out of a timeout or a dead set, they have a great play to run that gets them an easy bucket. Now, when they come down in transition, I think they got to take care of the ball a little bit better.
another offensive foul. This one is by Amaya Reynolds. Excuse me, Ella Collier commits the foul.
Ellie Collier just coming off there, and I don't know, it looked a little bit of both physicality is going to be a statement of the game, and they're both going hard at it.
Offensive foul is not helping Purdue. And races in and puts it home. South Carolina pulling away in the first was pretty even for the most part, but a late explosion by the Gamecocks. Turnover sure helped. It's Edwards. Tagging on 2 more. And in the flash, it is an 11-point lead for South Carolina.
South Carolina is going to apply such strong ball pressure. You can't dribble the ball out in front of them. You got to protect it with your body.
Collier's 3 doesn't go. Shot clock is off for the Gamecocks. It's bobbled. Picked back up by McDaniel. Flares it out to the corner. Johnson drives to the lane. Rolls out. And lands and sticks on the floor. Nobody will grab it. But South Carolina with a late run to take an 11. They've gotten players to the WNBA, and they keep it indeed uncommon.
It is uncommon for them, and as you can see from that first to second quarter, they can sub 5 in, 5 out, and that next 5 is ready to run fast in transition.
Reynolds a nice bucket. And Purdue a good start to the second quarter. South Carolina pulling away late in the first. What changed for them?
Yeah, it's that second group that came in, could run so fast in transition, could finish buckets. They had a lot of takes in, their offensive rebounding. They had 8 offensive rebounds and then 15 total rebounds, so they're ready to fight off that bench.
Great move by Fulwiley, and she's got the finish. Malaysia Fulwiley. My goodness, she is so slithery getting into the painted area. It was Amaya Reynolds who committed the foul.
Malaysia Fulwiley just so skilled. Protects that basketball like a football. Nice soft touch off that glass.
He's got the ball securely. All wrapped up. Preseason all-second team in the SEC. Misses the free throw, and Purdue rips down the board. And South Carolina commits a foul. They're going to get Edwards. You watch this South Carolina team up close. As Chloe Kitzel check into the game, you get a sense for just how physical this group can be.
Yeah, they attack the ball so well. They're always looking to get their hands on the basketball, make it their possession.
Off the screen, Collier dishes back out wide. Bounce pass for Puryear. Through 3, just barely springs off. And South Carolina pries it loose. Fulwiley. She'll do it herself. Pastes it off the glass.
So tough to guard when she changes her pace. She's so fast, but when she goes slow to fast, it keeps the defense off balance. It's hard to guard in transition.
Good cut for Lombard, blocked from behind by Johnson. And South Carolina coughed it up. They turn it over at midcourt. Purdue hitting the gas. Collier takes the easy 2.
Those are some of the moments for Malaysia Fulwiley where, you know, she's so great with the ball. She's got the ball on her string. And when she makes that fancy play in transition where it comes into a turnover, maybe she can get more of a solid play in that sense.
Purdue needs more sequences just like this, recovering off of the defensive play by South Carolina.
Yeah, quick sprint back in transition. Ella Collier, quick hands. She's been great in this mid-range game. That's her sweet spot right now, knocking it down.
Quick elbow J for her. I think right now Purdue in those kind of plays, she's trying to find rhythm, right?
That will help them a ton, is just those simple shots in transition, not having defense set up by South Carolina.
Purdue trying to get itself sorted out with its 5 on the floor.
That will help them a ton, is just those simple shots in transition, not having defense set up by South Carolina.
Purdue trying to get itself sorted out with its 5 on the floor. Let's look at the break. A break for McKenna Layden. It's for Wiley on the free throw line, about 50% on her free throw. She hits that one. And the first of 2. South Carolina as a group so far this season shooting about 67%. That falls as well, so she gets both. And South Carolina's up 13. Well, Wiley will get a break, and Bree Hall is back into the game for South Carolina.
Great minutes for Malaysia for Wiley. Did exactly what coach wanted her to do coming off that bench.
Put a big emphasis with Wiley on trying not to do too much. It's so easy when you're that talented to want to make the big dazzling plays, but sometimes you just got to stay fundamental with it. That's batted away. Watkins got her paw in there. Tahina Pow floats it home.
Ooh, that was tough in transition. Euro step finish. I love that.
South Carolina's lead continues to balloon. It's now 15 in favor of the Gamecocks. Pow anticipated it. Nearly got a steal.
With this type of denial, this type of ball pressure, it's so important that Purdue has a chance to get their body into somebody and get open. Tahina Pow does a beautiful move in transition.
Collier, nice pass in. Cutting across, Sophie Swanson goes high for the glass, but it's too far shallow. Great dish, and the finish for the Gamecocks. It's Fagan.
Running the needle for Raven Johnson. That was a wonderful pass. Again, another sprint down in transition. Malaysia for Wiley just had some phenomenal minutes coming off the bench for South Carolina. She's been keeping it simple. She has such skill to her game, and her ability on the basketball court is impressive.
She had 8 in 20 minutes off the bench, and that's going back the other way. Against Iowa State, and so far 8 points already in this game for Wiley. In the minutes she's played on the floor for Dawn Staley. South Carolina has the basketball off the turnover. Bit of a bobble from Kitts, won't get the three she wanted. Pow loads up, and that's short. Loose ball, race for it. Lombard got there first. Waits for help, kicks it back. Flares it out to the wing. Great movement, Bass. Rolls around and out.
Awesome ball movement by Purdue. They didn't keep the ball sticking in one position. That's going to work out for them if they continue to do it in that way.
Hall thought about it, into the corner. Johnson kicks for Fagan. No options. More great movement. Chloe Kitts 2-on-1, just muscling through, and she traveled.
That's the Purdue defense that they need this entire time. The running, the closing out, the guarding every single player, not letting too many options open for South Carolina. Just so tough down there right now. They double team Chloe Kitts. They go right for the basketball as a guard. Going low to that ball. It's a great effort by them.
Can they turn it into points on the offensive end? Swanson nearly lost it. 8 to shoot for Purdue. Calls for the screen. Jones turns the corner, goes back in front. Bass tries to kick, and Jones didn't get it off in time. Won't matter.
The ball pressure, they're just covered at every single moment. South Carolina forces them to go down in the last couple seconds of the shot clock, making it a tough finish for Purdue.
Purdue with 3 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes. 10 overall, only 2 for South Carolina. It's tough to pull an upset if you turn the ball over too much.
Especially because it's creating so many points for South Carolina. You got 15 points from Purdue turnovers right now.
Hall will take the 3. Springs off, and a foul on the attempted rebound from Fagan.
Sanaya Fagan just knew her guard was going to take that shot. Before she even left her fingertips, Fagan was running in there for the rebound. It's an effort you want to see from your post players.
Got Elena Harper for it, her second, team's 3rd. South Carolina trying to extend their 6-0 run. Fagan, no room. Johnson for 3. You bet.
Something Raven Johnson has added to her game is that outside three-point presence. Her player left to double team the post, and she's wide open. She's got to hit those open shots.
Jones scales the baseline, and she got fouled. This is a smooth three from Raven Johnson.
Raven Johnson notices her player goes to double team. She's wide open on the top of the key. She's shooting that ball with confidence. It's awesome to see for South Carolina.
It's Johnson who commits the foul on the other end. Purdue will swap out Elena Harper for Kendall Purrier. Johnson will go rest on the bench as well.
Kendall Purrier just provides this physicality for Purdue that they need right now in this game. Love to see her post up and duck in hard. Tried to there, but a little bit tough of a pass.
It's a good layoff by Maddie McDaniel. Purdue comes up empty again. They're down 20, and South Carolina's got the basketball. How has South Carolina caused these turnovers for Purdue?
Their ball pressure is amazing. They have such quick hands. They're not letting them see the vision of the pass. It's so difficult for Purdue right now to even look to see who's open.
Maddie McDaniel to the rack for two more. Collier sworn. Lombard tried to pop it down the baseline, skims over the rim. And they get tangled up with it. This will belong to South Carolina.
Yeah, tough. Purrier just coming off the bench. That's her physicality that she brings. She can come up with that. That'd be awesome.
Midway through the second, this is turned into South Carolina domination. Bree Hall off the spin move, can't connect. Second effort. Doesn't land either, but another foul by Purdue.
Kagan went up and grabbed that with one hand. You heard it slap against her other hand. It was so loud. She brings such a powerful presence for this team.
Second foul by Rashunda Jones. And they put Sanaya Fagan on the free throw line. She's 9 for 10 this year. Pow and Kitts will both get a rest. It's Pow McDaniel, Fagan, Kitts, and Hall, the five on the floor for South Carolina. Changed for instead Johnson and Watkins, who checked in. Watkins turns it into points. Everything falling the Gamecocks' way.
One of the hardest things for a team that can rebound so well for South Carolina is when you put them on the free throw line. It's so difficult to go one-on-one with the box out. They're taking such advantage of those opportunities.
13 unanswered, a 17-2 run for South Carolina. Purdue desperately needs a spark. Collier, left-handed, going the opposite way, doesn't fall. Into the corner, another three. That's just a bit offline. Poke three. Hall muscles it home.
Being able to pressure full court with your guards, with your post players. Athleticism is unmatched.
5 steals for South Carolina. A whole lot of turnovers. South Carolina has 22 points off of turnovers so far. That's a nice move to the bucket for Purdue.
Awesome move by Lombard. And she had a great game last game. We're looking for her to come out a little bit more. Hesitation off a ball screen, keeping them off balance now. Big deal.
South Carolina dominating the offensive glass.
Can't jump with South Carolina. Can't jump for that basketball. You have to put a body into them and really push them outside the paint. It's more easier said than done.
Despite the disruption, Ashlyn Watkins bullies it to the strings, and it's 44-18 South Carolina. Turnovers the storyline for Purdue. They have simply coughed it up way too often. And foul as she rushes in. It's on Tessa Johnson. I mentioned it before, South Carolina has gone all over the country. They have not been shy about playing Anybody, anywhere, anytime. Emphasis on the second word. They went to Las Vegas, a 3,800-mile trip, then Charlotte, Clemson, back to Los Angeles cross country, and then out back to Florida here in Fort Myers. They're racking up the mileage points, I'll tell you.
9,000 miles traveled, just such a short amount of time. Not only have to play, you're tired, you have to do schoolwork. It's a lot to handle for them. They got some experience in the coaching and some players on the court that help them out.
McDaniel boogies and scores.
McDaniel's just so smooth coming into that basket. Shows the ball a little bit. Nice finish with her left hand.
Well, Wiley pokes it free. Hesitates. Turns it into the paint with a whistle before the shot. That foul on Rashunda Jones, her third.
Yeah, it's just tough finish right here by McDaniels. God, she drives in there so easily, so smooth, so slippery.
Looking for the 6'5" redshirt freshman Adele Tack. We'll get a chance at free throw. And the first sprays off. We asked Dawn Staley about who's maybe an unsung hero in this group for South Carolina, and she pointed to a lot of her players deep on the bench who maybe not always getting the most minutes, but always coming prepared, locked in, ready to go. That kind of attitude and culture is so key for a team like South Carolina.
They're always ready for their numbers to be called. They support their team so well, even on the bench. That's so important to be so connected that way, and then they're ready to go immediately when they come off the bench. Instant scoring, when you're talking about All-Americans on the bench.
South Carolina just continues to frustrate Purdue on the offensive end. Defense has been simply stellar. Collier, the All-American inbounds, that's swiped away. Full Wiley gets turned away by Lombard. A big block from the 5'9" fifth year.
Quick hustle back for Lombard. Gets high, reads that basketball, is a good block. That's what she has to do, is immediately after a turnover, you can't worry about it. You got to get back in transition.
A little extra stare down to the end by Destiny Lombard. That's batted away as well. A couple nice plays for Purdue. Off the spin move, the floater doesn't fall. Sophie Swanson trying to do it herself. 60 seconds to go in the second. McDaniel, hop, skip, and a score. South Carolina one off with 50 here in the first half. Just continued dominance, a 20-2 run in the last 7 minutes and 30 seconds. After what was a little bit of an even start, South Carolina continues to just take over. Another turnover. For Wiley, 2-on-1, nearly got it. And she elicits the foul. She'll go to the line for South Carolina. Sophie Swanson's first foul. For Wiley, mentioned about 50% on the free throw line to this point. In his first half, it's now eclipsed her point total that she had against Iowa State. That's her 9th, a chance for double digits in the first half if this second drops for her. And the Columbia natives got 10. South Carolina has outscored Purdue 27-6 in the second. Collier surveying her options. Lombard launches her three. That dings off left iron. One more chance for South Carolina. Johnson through four, offensive board, put back not there. Still popcorning around, Watkins with the finish. Third time's the charm for the Gamecocks, and they add on to a man 5 to South Carolina. Very steep hill to climb. McCarthy's blocked immediately by Fagan.
That was the first play that Purdue came out with in the start of the game. They got it to Lana. She finished strong against Fagan. This time, Fagan steps up, gets a nice block off of Lana McCarthy.
South Carolina, 5 team blocks so far. Collier floats up, And doesn't connect, gets her own board. Second chance off the miss, doesn't go. Tangled up, South Carolina's got it. Rahina Pow up the floor. Lofts it in. Reels it down, kick to the corner, Hall. And that drops. South Carolina extends their lead to 38.
The whole time, Tahina Pow is scanning the floor. She's driving in transition. Who can I pass to? Who can I look to? Finds Chloe Kitts in the inside, and then outside game by Bree Hall. It's exactly what South Carolina wants.
Good times keep rolling for the Gamecocks. That's only their second three there. They haven't had to shoot it a ton. Lombard shuffles home and puts it off the window.
Destiny Lombard, somebody that is so skilled getting to the basket. She's slippery. She can find her inside game.
Zipped underneath for Sanaya Fagan.
Ryan, it just happens so fast. You see Purdue gets a bucket and it's an immediate drive down and fast break. Purdue almost can't have anyone crashing for the boards. They have to get back so fast.
How much harder is that on a team like Purdue who doesn't have quite the same depth South Carolina has?
It keeps them to one and done, and then sprinting down in transition all the time, constantly focused on that and locked in. It's a mental grind for them this year in this game.
Stripped free in the fast break points for Chloe Kitts. And just continues to pile on here. South Carolina up to 20 fast break points out of their total 60. Lombard, a nice fake, has to hoist up a shot, but got fouled. Looks like they're going to get Raven Johnson.
Didn't look like Fagan got anything on the up top, but obviously they called Raven Johnson maybe for something down low. Nice step through for Lombard.
Well, Destiny Lombard, the Stephen F. Austin transfer, will get a couple of shots. And 60-22. Hoists it up, and it doesn't fall. Hard contact, and it's a foul.
Just this shot by Raven Johnson and that energy to go after the boards for both Purdue and Fagan. It's a physical game.
South Carolina makes it physical. By the way, Purdue, those last couple of free throws, their first trip to the free throw line in this game, Destiny Lombard hits them both. This one has swayed way in favor of the Gamecocks, up 38 early in the third. Nice move by Lombard, but there's no finish for the Boilermakers. Bass gobbles it up. She's swarmed back from McCarthy. Destiny Lombard has had some really athletic plays for Purdue. Bass kicks out for Reynolds. She lost it. Barely lassos it on the sideline, just heaves it up. McCarthy was waiting beneath it. Put up a prayer, and McCarthy answered it.
Great awareness by Lana McCarthy to find that ball, go up with it before the shot clock ran out.
Shot clock was winding down. I think just sort of putting that one in the vicinity and hoping something good happens. The good that happened was wearing number 35. Johnson with some real estate, too strong off the glass. And that'll be a held ball. Back of this on the other end. Just an absolute prayer when it got loose to the sideline.
Great save here by Reynolds just to chuck it up. She tried to go for a bucket, but ended up in the hands of McCarthy.
I think was maybe just trying to heave it Hail Mary-esque to the basket. Right place, right time. Still be South Carolina basketball. From the screen, open look, Pow. That springs off. Kitts back out to the wing, it's Hall. No connection. Another rebound for South Carolina on the offensive glass. Great movement. Kitts down deep, fading away for two.
Patience by Chloe Kitts right there. Just throw a little shot fake, get her feet set for a nice easy jumper in the inside.
Good times keep rolling for South Carolina. Just finding crafty ways to score. Under 10 for Purdue. Pass, shot fake. Sandy never left her feet. That's too strong for McCarthy. South Carolina gets the ball anyways. Chloe Kitts underhands it for Fagan. And took the extra pass for Raven Johnson, and they cough it up on the turnover. It'll be a complete change here for South Carolina. 5 in, 5 out. For Wiley, Edwards, Johnson, Watkins, and McDaniel all come in for Dawn Staley's group. It's like a line change in hockey.
Yeah. When I had the chance to ask her about her bench, I said, who could be the biggest impact this year for you off the bench? And her response was, our bench. The entire bench can be the impact. And so true. When you got 10 McDonald's All-Americans, every single person can make a difference. It's probably one of the few teams in college basketball who can sub in, 5 out.
Just ludicrous talent for Coach Staley's group as they look to make another run at the national championship. Watkins hooks it in. For South Carolina, this is another hard foul. That'll be on Reynolds, her second. When you think about this South Carolina team, it's really easy to look at a game like this or a lot of their lopsided wins and, you know, get caught up in the glory of it all. But I think any coach will tell you want to improve and get better as the season goes along. What are the improvement areas for South Carolina? Every
team is trying to get better right now at this time of the year, no matter who they play, no matter what the score is. For South Carolina, it's about that steadiness, that ability to focus for 40 minutes, not have any lapses defensively or offensively for Coach Staley's team.
That's a foul. Lombard, by the way, up to 12 points off of the three. That foul will take us to the media timeout. 64-27, Gamecocks in cruise control at Fort Myers. For the teams are still trying to learn them. Destiny Lombard's was really good today, but if Purdue's going to be successful in the Big Ten, they need all the transfers to find their rhythm.
They need all the transfers to step up. They need the freshmen to step up. Coach Katie Gerald said, we're trying to break habits from transfers and build habits for freshmen, something they're going to work on the entire season. Watkins
zips it back for Wiley. Great spin move on the fadeaway.
Oh,
yes!
Oh, my goodness.
Malaysia for Wiley, how do you do?
She is just so fun to watch.
Unreal athleticism. It is evident why coaches call her a generational talent.
She has a ball on the string like Kyrie Irving, someone that just never has to look down at the ball. She can always make moves regardless.
Johnson orchestrating things, back to McDaniel. Johnson creates a little space from the charity stripe. She swishes it.
Haven't seen much of Tessa Johnson in this game. A phenomenal shooter for South Carolina. Another player that comes off the bench, ready to make an impact.
McCarthy backing in, twisting free. A nice move in her own right, and it drops.
Love that move by McCarthy. When you're playing against shot blockers, you got to keep them off balance. You got to throw shot fakes just like that.
Lombard nearly pried it loose. For Wiley, attacks the heel. More ball movement. This time it's Johnson. Just a tad long. Crashing the board, South Carolina gobbles it up. Edwards blocked from behind. Second chance, she's got it. South Carolina is just pesky beneath the bucket.
Second, third efforts for South Carolina on the rebounding battle here.
Bass has it swatted out of her fingertips. Today's instant replay is brought to you by the islands, beaches, and neighborhoods of Fort Myers, and Malaysia Fulwiley is a walking instant replay.
She is a walking instant replay. Some of the things she does are just so impressive. A second look here, just a spin back into a pull-up jump shot. You rarely see that move in women's college basketball and men's college basketball. Heck, in the NBA.
Bit too much for Sophie Swanson. Just a really pretty bucket for Fulwiley. And you can see why there's so much excitement around her and the talent of this South Carolina roster. Fulwiley coasting to the cup, and that doesn't land for number 12. Somehow keeps it in play. Out to the wing, and that's down. This time Tessa Johnson connects from deep.
That's her three-point ability. We saw a lot of it in the tournament last year. The championship game as a freshman, now as a sophomore, learning a little bit more about the game. Her shot-making ability is so impressive.
Third three for South Carolina. Collier, long two. That's cash.
Collier has been able to lock in on those mid-range jump shots today. She's reading the defense, not going too far into the paint.
Fulwiley, another three. That rolls out. Edwards vacuums up the missed shot. And South Carolina still clinging to it despite missing the second. She got fouled. It'll be the second by Purdue in the third.
Purdue just trying to figure out some way to get the ball out of the hands of Joyce Edwards as a freshman who has got the height, the strength, the talent.
It's the second for Swanson. 26 offensive rebounds, generating 22 second chance points. You asked Coach Staley about the rebounding and where they were at that phase of the game. And she said, look, if we take care of a lot of the other stuff, the rebounds are going to come. They have come in a big way today for South Carolina.
They've always been a rebounding team. Coach Staley always has historically great rebounding players, but she said in the last loss that she had, it wasn't necessarily the most important thing that they were working on. There was many other issues they had to take care of. They'll always have that rebounding mentality.
Daniel almost picked her pocket. Collier off the bounce. McCarthy baseline. Too strong. Jones trying to save it. It's going back to the Gamecocks. I really feel like South Carolina is one of those teams that has a really strong chance to repeat again as they search for the fourth national title. Preseason favorites in the SEC. It's going to be a New Look Conference, obviously, this year with Texas and Oklahoma coming in. That's going to shake up things.
Texas is doing really well right now. They've played well for a couple of years, but they're older, they're more mature. They have the ability to make a good run against a South Carolina team as well.
It'll pull year's first foul. 6'3" freshman. Daniel will trigger it in for South Carolina. Another three for Johnson. Why not? Tessa Johnson's getting hot. And the Gamecocks are still up mightily. It keeps growing.
Once she hits one, it's over for the defense. She is a confident shooter. They run her through a elevator screen to get her open, and she knocks it down with confidence.
The lead has grown to 45 for South Carolina. That's a foul on Ashlyn Watkins. 40.3 left in the quarter. Destiny Lombard will check back in. I'm sure they will break for the Destiny Lombard will check back in. I'm sure they will break for McKenna Layden. South Carolina has scored 23 in the first, 30 in the second, 23 in the third. Just unbelievably dominant today. And that will stay with Purdue. South Carolina doesn't like it. for Jones. Quick trigger, Collier. Springs off. Up the floor, Johnson. Scoring at all levels for the Gamecocks.
Never taking their foot off the gas, doing what they do best, running in transition. All 5 players have that ability.
Now the 4th different Gamecock in double digits. McCarthy into the corner. Dump back down McCarthy. That's disrupted. Pulled away by South Carolina. For Wiley from half court. She got it!
Malaysia for Wiley.
Punctual against Texas A&M to try and tie the streak. But then they got to play Texas to try and set the new record. So that adds potentially, if they win their first 3, even more intrigue to that first ever conference matchup with the Longhorns.
Team and Vic Schaefer, who likes to pressure in the backcourt, try to slow South Carolina down if they can at all.
Nice finish by Rashunda Jones. That eats into the lead a little bit. In your mind, where does Texas fit into the SEC picture?
Yeah, they're right up there in the top with South Carolina. Such a powerful team and program, and they're always there and right in your eyesight. I had the chance to play them in Bahamas a few Thanksgivings ago. They actually beat them in Bahamas. It was exciting, but they are a tough team. They always have bigs in the inside and guards that can score, similar to the South Carolina team in the SEC.
Quick trigger, Lombard for 3. That's cash. Destiny Lombard's having a good day for Purdue. She's got 15 points for the Boilermakers.
Destiny Lombard just keep doing what she's doing, getting inside. It's helping her game as well to feel this confidence.
For Wiley, snakes her way in and lays it up for 2 more. That's 14 points for number 12.
Unguardable.
There's no room to operate. For Wiley on defense as well. 5 to shoot. Jones takes the extra pass, and that's disrupted by Edwards. For Wiley, a watch list selection for the Naismith women. Unbelievable. That's another foul. This will be on Lombard. And you just get the sense that if South Carolina is going to repeat, Malaysia for Wiley is going to play a very key role in that kind of a run.
She's getting a standing ovation from the crowd right now for her performance in this game. She definitely will have to stick with that and her simplistically that she's played with in this game. She's been fancy at times, but she's also just taking it downhill, solid takes to the basket like Coach Staley wants.
These Gamecock fans have traveled very well. Leaves it up, got fouled on the way in. A lot of Iowa State and South Carolina fans here. Had a great game on Thanksgiving. The building was pretty full on the first day, and the culture that has been built around this program, a lot of passion in Columbia for South Carolina women's basketball. They are consistently one of the most well-attended. Ashley Watkins puts one home for the first.
And such basketball fans as well, as we've learned throughout this tournament. We'll see a couple of them stick around, watch the other games, tuning in to teams that they're not going to play, tuning in to teams that they will play. But they all got a little scouting report for their team separately.
Have some extra scouts hanging around in Fort Myers. 8 minutes to go. Purdue with the basketball. South Carolina cruising away with what will likely be their second straight win. They're going to go 2-0 in Fort Myers. Miscommunication offensively. McCarthy from the elbow strokes it wide. Dump down on the post, out for Hall. She wiggles in underneath Watkins. Great team chemistry by South Carolina in the finish from Ashley Watkins.
A couple phenomenal passes by South Carolina. Just mid-air, Bree Hall finds a way to get that to Ashley Watkins.
Bree Hall collects the missed shot. McDaniel, way too much room. A great move to the cup. Maddie McDaniel getting involved. She's got 10 points.
Didn't know which way she was going. Faked one way, went the other. The whole crowd was confused.
5 Gamecocks now in double digits. Lombard breaks free, floats it long. Fast in transition. Watkins to Edwards. Added on to the total, 87-36. Timeout on the floor. Gamecocks cruising away with it, 9 unanswered in the last 2 minutes. When it rains, it pours. Tournaments. For this program, 16 SEC titles in their tenure. Dominant force in college basketball. And they've been dominant today, 87-36. Teetering on the brink of a 50-point lead over the Boilermakers. This one has gotten away in a hurry, and for South Carolina, this is only building that confidence at this point of the season, which is nothing but good for South Carolina. Six and a half in this game, Purdue with it. Collier loads up. And off one hop, South Carolina clears. Another 3 for Johnson. And she strums the strings. 90 points for the Gamecocks.
I told you, as soon as Tessa hits one, she's hot for the rest of the game.
13 points for her, 3 for 6 from downtown. Nice pass to Collier, but the bobble can't finish. Lombard zigzagging out to Reynolds, straightaway 3, it's good.
Nice ball move.
Lombard breaks free, floats it long. Fast in transition, Watkins to Edwards. Added on to the total, 87-36. Timeout on the floor. Gamecocks cruising away with it, 9 unanswered in the last 2 minutes. When it rains, it pours. Tournaments. For this program, 16 SEC titles in their tenure. Dominant force in college basketball. And they've been dominant today, 87-36. Teetering on the brink of a 50-point lead over the Boilermakers. This one has gotten away in a hurry, and for South Carolina, this is only building that confidence at this point of the season, which is nothing but good for South Carolina. Six and a half in this game, Purdue with it. Collier loads up. And off one hop, South Carolina clears. Another 3 for Johnson. And she strums the strings. 90 points for the Gamecocks.
I told you, as soon as Tessa hits one, she's hot for the rest of the game.
13 points for her, 3 for 6 from downtown. Nice pass to Collier, but the bobble can't finish. Lombard zigzagging out to Reynolds, straightaway 3, it's good.
Nice ball movement. Started with Ella Collier's drive, back cut to baseline. Creates, the defense gets off balance there, and then you can get that ball moving for easy shots. Just so tough against the South Carolina's ball pressure.
Brings that one loose and rolls off. Miriam Dowda for South Carolina is in the game.
Coach said Miriam is just so into the game when she's on the bench. Even though she doesn't play, she's always ready to go and make an impact. Been impressed with Miriam this year.
Lombard for 3. That's good as well. Purdue starting to connect from downtown.
Destiny Lombard, 15 points and then 18 with that 3. She's been looking good this year in both these 2 games that we've covered for her this Thanksgiving tournament.
Oh, that's good. Bree Hall, another 3.
Bree Hall shooting it well.
South Carolina going a little deeper into their bench, and these are valuable minutes for a program very much focused on process. That's a steal for McDaniel. Up ahead, Hall wide open. And she takes advantage. 95 points for the Gamecocks. They're creeping in on 100.
The skill, the finesse that's added to this game. Just so hard for Purdue to, first of all, handle the turnover and then have to see some crazy pass or finish on the other end.
28 fast break points for South Carolina, just 2 for Purdue. Lombard floats it home, spirals through.
In a game like this for Purdue, they'll have a chance to look back at the film and maybe some mistakes that they made, but what's most important is they're going to grow this leadership and how to remember that when a team goes up by 20, 30 points, who's going to step up, who's going to bring this together mentally for Purdue.
Attack. Physical against McCarthy. They'll wave off the basket. That's an offensive foul. A very physical game. South Carolina in basketball coming up here in Fort Myers. Purdue with it out of the timeout. 3:40 to go. South Carolina up in a big way. Tied for a season high. One more bucket gets them to a new season high and a chance to go into this 3-game stretch they got coming up feeling really good.
I just want to talk about some of their numbers. I mean, 60 points off the bench. It's so amazing for a team to go 5 in, 5 out, and have 60 points from your bench. It's incredible.
That's a 3 for Sophie Swanson. Purdue 7 for 12 from beyond the arc. There's one area they've looked, particularly in the second half, a lot better. It's been their perimeter shooting. The defense for South Carolina has been suffocating. 2-on-1, first doesn't go, second time's the charm. Down deep for an L-tap.
It's tough for Purdue when every pass is deflected. For some of these shooters, they've had the chance to get these open shots in the second half because more of the passes are on time, on target.
Quick little runner for Lombard. South Carolina closing in on 100. There it goes, and it rolls out. As Dowda leaves it short. Launched from deep, and it sprays loose. South Carolina breaks 100. It'll be the first time they did it since December 6th in 2023 against Morgan State. Edwards rattles out. Just barely. They're stuck at a new season high, though, of 97.
She put her hands up like, how did that happen? All the way down and all the way out.
Outside, a little space for Harper. She'll hand off for Lombard. Breaks free, and Lombard scoops it in.
Lombard just really showing her talent, showing her skills, what she can do on the offensive end.
Dumps it in. Tap. Bullying. Kicks it out, and she got fouled before the pass. There's been a lot of scores today. We look at who has been leading the way for South Carolina. All kinds of Gamecocks getting to double digits.
So well-balanced scoring from the Gamecocks. I mentioned 60 points off the bench. Malaysia Fawiley leads that with 14 points and just a crafty finisher.
Tech, short distance shot doesn't land. Nearly got loose. Foul is called. That belongs to South Carolina. That quells the fast break. Ella Collier's foul. Beg your pardon, Sophie Swanson, team third, and her third as well. Dawn Staley's team up comfortably late. The only question is whether or not they'll crack triple digits. South Carolina will go 2-0 in Fort Myers. Head into a stretch of Duke, TCU, and South Florida. Feeling really good. Hall. Crisscrossing into the lane, had it pried loose. It'll stay with the Gamecocks. This is what's on the horizon. They'll be at home on Thursday against Duke. Then another ranked matchup with TCU. South Florida has been very battle-tested. And then takes with Charleston Southern, Wofford, and then the Open Conference play on the new year with Missouri, January 2nd. Looking to extend that SEC win streak. The jumper is too strong from Edwards. Grabs her own missed shot. Heaves it up again. Doesn't land. Third time. Falls through. 99 points for the Gamecocks.
Joyce Edwards just trying to pad her stats a little bit. Adds 3 rebounds and 2 extra points.
fell down. Sophie Swanson with it. Jones floats it to the baseline. Puryear hoists. And that rolls out. Shot clock is off. South Carolina, a dominant one. A season high 99 points for the Gamecocks. And they cruise to a victory over Purdue to go 2-0 in Fort Myers.